I am moving someone toward you right now, and you don't even know that person's name yet. Suddenly, everything is going to shift. And when the offer reaches you, through hands you probably can't imagine today, you'll understand why the wait lasted exactly as long as it did. Hold on. This isn't luck. It's not a coincidence on the calendar or a favor from anyone. It's a door I've already opened in heaven before any person on earth opened their mouth to offer you anything. That person doesn't fully know yet what they're going to propose to you, but I already know. And what I've already decided to deliver to you doesn't depend on them understanding everything right now. It only depends on the right timing, which I myself am managing while you watch this video. Stick around until the end, because before it's over, you're going to learn how to recognize this offer the moment it arrives, and you'll know exactly what to do in the first 24 hours after it knocks on your door. You walked into that meeting with your idea, ready, organized, rehearsed quietly in the car before you went up, and in the middle of your second sentence, someone cut you off. Change the subject as if what you had to say fit inside a parenthesis. You smiled, jotted down something you didn't need to jot down, and swallowed the rest of your sentence along with your cold coffee. You went back to your chair and spent the rest of the meeting calculating whether it was worth trying again, and you decided it wasn't. That wasn't a lack of value. It was a microphone turned off at the wrong moment, in the wrong room, in front of the wrong people to recognize what you carry. You keep a talent in a drawer that no one else opens anymore. It's been there for years, folded up, quiet, waiting for someone to ask about it. No one asks. You've stopped mentioning it, because mentioning it without being taken seriously hurts more than just keeping it to yourself. Sometimes you open that drawer alone, at night, just to remind yourself it still exists, and you close it again before anyone walks in and asks what you're doing. That's not waste. It's a seed underground in the dark, exactly where every seed needs to be before it becomes fruit. You scroll through social media late at night or on your break at work, and you see someone who started after you already 2 steps ahead. An invitation here, a contract there, a door that opened for someone else, and you wonder, without meaning to, what you're doing wrong. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video. It opened for someone else, and you wonder, without meaning to, what you're doing wrong. You close the app, breathe, and go back to whatever you were doing, carrying inside you a question that doesn't have an immediate answer. It's not a mistake. It's a stopwatch you're not holding. And the stopwatch that matters was never in your hand. And at night, before you sleep, you make a silent inventory of what still hasn't arrived. The bill that didn't balance, the invitation that didn't come, the answer that didn't appear. You lie down reviewing the list like someone checking a cash register that never balances, and even though you're tired, sleep takes a while because your mind insists on adding up what's missing again. That's not failure. It's someone still standing, after a whole day of carrying weight that no one else saw you carry. And staying on your feet, after all that, was already a badge of honor before any offer arrived. None of those 4 scenes are signs that you're doing something wrong. They're just the portrait of someone who kept walking even without understanding the full map. And it's exactly that kind of person I choose to move. Not the one who gives up at the first interruption. Not the one who closes the drawer for good, but the one who stays standing, even tired, even without answers. If any of those scenes touched you, the like now isn't just a video formality. The like is your public amen. Heaven registers what you confess openly. even before you understand why you're confessing it. No speech needed, no explanation needed, just the simple gesture that says, "This is about me." 3 things I'm going to promise you now, and each one of them will be delivered before this video ends. First, the delay you lived through wasn't forgetfulness. It was the exact time of preparation for the size of the offer that's coming. Second, you're going to receive, still today, the protocol that teaches you how to recognize the right door when it opens through a specific person, and you won't confuse that door with any ordinary invitation. Third, before this video ends, you'll be able to declare out loud that you're ready for what I'm moving toward you, even though it's bigger than you ever asked for. Hold on to those 3 promises, because each one of them will be collected before this video is over. It's not a promise for next week. It's not a promise for when you deserve it more. It's a promise for now, delivered in the same sequence it was spoken, from delay to preparation, from the drawer to the stage, from the hidden to the sent. That's the direction this entire video will build in you, step by step, until the last minute. I didn't forget you on any of those nights when you made that inventory alone. I wasn't distracted while you kept the talent in the drawer. I placed you here, hearing this now, because this word is yours, and the time that seemed frozen was me training in silence what no one else was seeing, being trained. I don't confuse delay with forgetfulness. I never have. And what I trained in you in the dark is exactly what will sustain the weight of the offer when it finally appears in the light. Close your eyes for a moment, or at least look away from the screen for a second, and let in what I'm going to show you now. They're not random concepts. They're signs that are already happening inside you and around you, one by one, since before you clicked on this video. Some you've already noticed and couldn't name. Others you noticed and chose to ignore because naming seemed too dangerous, as if dreaming big was inviting disappointment into your house. The first sign is a name coming back to your mind for no apparent reason. You weren't thinking about that person, and suddenly they appear in the middle of some random task, washing dishes, driving, waiting for the elevator, without any trigger, without any recent memory to justify it. Sometimes it's the name of someone you barely know. Sometimes it's the name of someone you know too well and had already given up on expecting anything from. You might have called it chance or random memory and moved on without paying attention. It's not. It's your spirit recognizing, before your mind understands, who I am already moving in your direction. The second sign is a growing discomfort with the routine that used to be enough. You do the same commute, the same work, the same conversations as always, and something tightens inside that you can't name. It's not a fight with anyone. It's not a visible crisis. It's a fine restlessness, almost embarrassed, because on the outside, everything seems fine, and on the inside, something already knows it won't stay that way much longer. You might have called it ingratitude or silly restlessness, and tried to smother it with more work, more distraction, more silence. It's not. It's tuning for the next level, the body adjusting to a space that doesn't exist yet in your current routine, but already exists in my schedule for you. The third sign is a dream that repeats. Always the same scene, a meeting, a conversation, a room, a face that maybe doesn't even have a name yet, or a feeling of being called to something you still can't describe while awake. You wake up trying to understand what it means and go back to sleep without an answer. And the next day, you follow your routine as if nothing happened, even though you carry the scene inside you all day. You might have called it a silly dream, residue of the day. It's not. It's your spirit rehearsing in the early morning what your life will still confirm in the light of day. The fourth sign is coincidences. The name of that person or that area appearing repeatedly where you didn't expect it. In someone else's conversation you overheard by chance, in a news story that flashed on your phone screen, in a mention that no one made on purpose for you to hear, but you heard it anyway, and your heart gave a little jump you couldn't even explain. Sometimes it's the same name 3 times in the same week, coming from people who don't even know each other, without any coordination. You might have called it just a coincidence, with no further explanation, and kept scrolling. It's not. It's the door being positioned piece by piece before it opens in front of you. The next sign is the hardest one to hear. It's the one the enemy spent the most time trying to make you ignore. The fifth sign is an invitation, or a contact, that will arrive in a way that seems too big to be natural. It will come from a person with more reach, more influence, more visibility than you ever imagined would approach you, and it will arrive in a simple way, almost ordinary, a message, an introduction, a casual encounter that wasn't casual at all. And the first reaction will be to doubt, to think it's a mistake, or a coincidence, or luck that won't last, or that the person will give up as soon as they find out who you really are. It's none of that. It's the answer to a prayer you don't even remember making, delivered by hands I prepared long before you deserved or didn't deserve anything. If this word has reached you now, write free in the comments. You don't need to explain. Just write it so that heaven registers that you heard. Close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you doesn't work if your attention is divided. There was a man in the middle of the desert, taking care of sheep that weren't even his, when he saw a bush burning without being consumed. He had run away from a whole life of failure, from a mistake he'd carried for decades, from a palace he lost and a people who no longer recognized him as a brother, and he expected nothing more than another ordinary day among rocks and goats. He didn't even approach at first. He stood watching from a distance, calculating whether it was really real or just the tiredness of his own eyes. And it was right there, in the middle of the ordinary, without announcement, without preparation, that he received the most impossible proposal he'd ever heard to take an entire people out of slavery. He took off his sandals because the ground he was standing on, without him knowing until that moment, had always been holy ground. Moses didn't provoke that encounter. He didn't organize that bush. It simply burned in front of him, at a moment when he least expected to be called to something greater than his own life, and greater than he thought he deserved after everything he'd done wrong. There is a seed that needs to have its own shell cracked from the inside, in the darkness of the earth, before any sprout appears above ground. No one sees the cracking happen. No one applauds the seed as it splits alone, in the dark, without an audience, without sun, without anyone to confirm that it's working. If someone dug into the earth in the middle of the process, they'd see only a cracked seed, broken, with no visible proof of what was being built inside. But it's exactly that invisible cracking that precedes every visible offer of fruit, of shade, of a tree that one day will shelter whoever passes by. Just like the seed, and just like Moses, the offer that seems too big for you will also require one thing. It will require you to let go of the small plan you were making alone, in secret, the size of your own capacity to dream. What's coming doesn't fit in the small plan. You need to let go of the steering wheel you built yourself, with both hands, the same way Moses needed to let go of the staff he knew to hold on to a calling he didn't know. Moses came back from that encounter different, still stuttering, still unsure of his own words, but no longer the same man who fled among the sheep. He went, and the people came out. The proposal that seemed impossible became history, and yours will too. If you've ever felt like that man in front of the burning bush, write bush in the comments now. Let me stop for a full minute, because what comes next needs to be said slowly. You've already recognized the signs in your own body, in your own routine, in the way certain names insist on coming back. You already know which area or which person keeps appearing without you calling them. And you've already understood, listening this far, that the entire delay had a purpose. It wasn't abandonment. It was a timeline. Hold on to that word, timeline, because it will stay with you after this video ends. Every time impatience tries to convince you that time is passing in vain, remember that there is a timeline being followed precisely, even when you can't see the whole schedule. 3 things have become clear so far. First, that the name or area that keeps coming back to your mind isn't chance, it's direction. Second, that the signs that appeared in your body and your routine are confirmation, not coincidence. Third, that the entire delay, the interrupted meeting, the talent in the drawer, the nights of inventory had a purpose that you can only see from the inside out now, looking back. No one else needs to validate this for it to be true. You already know. I saw every silent attempt of yours to stay faithful, even without any visible confirmation. I saw you show up at work the day after the meeting where they cut you off, and do the job right anyway, without sabotaging, without getting revenge, without giving up on doing it well. I saw you keep trying, even without an audience, even without applause, even without anyone asking about the talent kept in the drawer. And here is who you are inside all of this. You are the chosen before the invitation. That's the first identity, and it's not a consolation prize. I saw your faithfulness in the hidden, long before anyone recognized you in public. I saw you be honest when no one was filming, when no one was applauding, when the only spectator was me, on the mornings when you did the work right, even knowing no one would notice the difference. What this authorizes is for you to stop making yourself small in front of big doors. You don't need to shrink to fit into an offer that was already sized for you before it existed. You don't need to apologize for occupying a space that I myself prepared to your size. You are the prepared in silence. That's the second identity. I saw the waiting time being used day after day to shape your character and not to waste your life. Every month that seemed lost was, in truth, being carved into you as patience, as discernment, as firmness that will sustain the weight of the offer when it arrives, because an offer too big for the character crushes whoever receives it, and I wasn't going to let that happen to you. What this authorizes is for you to stop sabotaging your own ability just because the offer seems too big for your current resume. The resume that men read is not the same resume I evaluated. You are the sent through human hands. That's the third identity. I saw the influential person I am moving toward you being used as an instrument, never as the real source of anything. The source was always me. The human hands only deliver what I already decided to deliver at the time I already decided to deliver it. What this authorizes is for you to start acting today as someone already commissioned, even before any full confirmation arrives in writing or through a handshake. You can move with the certainty of someone who has already been sent, even while still waiting for the letter of introduction to arrive. From delay to purpose, from drawer to stage, from silence to voice, from waiting to sending. This is what is being written about you right now. While you listen, 3 identities, 1 single direction. You are no longer the person who came into this video thinking you were behind. You are the one who was already chosen, who was already prepared, and who is already being sent, all at the same time, even if the visible confirmation is still on its way. Write in the comments the name of the identity that weighed on you the most right now. Chosen, prepared, or sent. And if this video reached you at the right time, subscribe to the channel, because the next word might be exactly the confirmation you were waiting for without knowing you were waiting for it. I'm going to give you a simple free protocol for the coming days. It's called the Prepared Door Protocol, and it has 3 steps. It doesn't require any special knowledge, any previous experience, any preparation beyond the willingness to do exactly what I'm about to ask. In the right order. First step, grab a piece of paper or your phone itself and write down the name of the person or the name of the area that came back to your mind during this video without you calling it. You don't need to understand everything now. You don't need to know yet how that person will reach you or through what path. You just need to name it. Because naming is the first act of faith in front of something you still don't see. Second step, declare out loud, alone, in a place where no one will interrupt you, your willingness to accept whatever comes without fear of the size of the offer. It can be a simple sentence, spoken with your own mouth, because a word spoken out loud carries a different weight than a word only thought. It doesn't need to be eloquent. It needs to be sincere. Third step, set aside a moment of real silence. without a phone, without a screen, without background music, within the next 24 hours to receive the confirmation. It's not to ask for anything more in that moment. It's just to be quiet enough to perceive what is already being answered. The sign that the confirmation has arrived won't be euphoria. It will be stillness, a peace that settles inside without any external reason to explain it, and that stays there even after the silence ends. There's no step 4. There's no fine print. It's name it, declare it, and be quiet enough to perceive the answer arriving. A lot of people will complicate this, will think they need something more. You don't. You just need to do the 3 steps in the right order, still today. If you're receiving this protocol now, write received in the comments so that heaven registers that the seed was planted. In the next 72 hours, 3 things will be launched against you. Not as a possibility, as a certainty. They don't come to destroy you. They come to make you let go of what was already delivered before you could even hold it. The first tactic is called self-sabotage by lesser worth. It arrives disguised as humility, whispering that this is too big for someone like you, that other people more prepared deserve this offer more than you. Its weapon is to make you refuse the offer before it even fully arrives, just to avoid the risk of being seen trying something your actual size and failing in front of everyone. The second tactic is called impatience that aborts the timing. It arrives pushing you to force the door before the right time, convincing you that you need to fix everything yourself, send a message before the right moment, demand an answer before the right time, running ahead of what I'm already organizing behind the scenes. Its weapon is to make you trade the right time for a rushed time that ruins the harvest before it ripens, and that can even drive away the very person I am moving in your direction. The third tactic is called distrust of the messenger. It arrives making you doubt the offer just because it came through a human being, an ordinary person of flesh and blood, with visible flaws and not in a visibly supernatural way, with thunder and a sign in the sky that proved once and for all it was me behind it. Its weapon is to make you reject the gift because it didn't arrive wrapped the way you imagined a miracle should arrive. And there is still an internal enemy, quieter than the 3 from outside. It's the voice that whispers, "This is too good to be true. Don't let yourself hope for this. Prepare yourself for disappointment before it arrives." This voice disguises itself as maturity, as realism, as someone who's been beaten up by life too many times to believe in something good. But it's not maturity. It's fear dressed up as wisdom, and you've carried this weight long enough to stop carrying it today. None of these 4 things have the power to change what I have already decided. They only have the power to delay you if you let them. And today, you're not going to let them. Write protected in the comments now, because the decree against these 3 tactics and against that internal voice was sealed the moment you wrote it. Put your hand over your chest now. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, slowly, like someone letting go of a weight you've carried for too long. If you're in a public place, you don't need to close your eyes, but let your heart make the same movement inside. I want you to release now 3 specific loads. The first is the fear of having been forgotten. The second is the hurry to fix everything alone, without waiting for my delivery. The third is the doubt about your own worth, the one that made you small in so many rooms. Name each of these loads out loud now, one at a time, and after naming them, release them. Say, "I release the fear of having been forgotten." Say, "I release the hurry to fix everything alone." Say, "I release the doubt about my worth." A load named and released out loud is a load that has already begun to truly leave your hands, not just in intention. I was in the meeting where they cut you off. I saw the exact second they swallowed your idea as if it wasn't worth the 30-second pause it needed. I saw your face trying to keep composure while inside something closed a little more. I registered every word you didn't finish saying, and not one of them was lost. They're kept waiting for the right moment to come out complete in front of people who will finally listen to the end, without cutting, without changing the subject, without making you feel small a second time. I was also in your nights when you made the inventory of what still hadn't arrived. I saw you lying down, reviewing the list, counting what was missing like someone checking a cash register that never balances. I heard the thoughts you never told anyone, the questions you asked the ceiling of your room without expecting an immediate answer. And each of those nights is now being transformed into testimony, not into shame. What seemed like delay was being processed in heaven as fine, detailed, specific preparation for the exact size of the offer I am moving in your direction. I also saw the talent kept in the drawer, and I know exactly the day it will be opened again. This time, in front of those who know how to recognize the value of it. I also saw you comparing your life with those who seemed further ahead, and I never stopped knowing that your time had a different clock, adjusted for a purpose that no one else besides me could fully see. I cover your mind now, against every thought of lesser worth that tries to make you back away from the size of the offer. I cover your relationships so that the right person, moved by my hands, arrives at the right time and is recognized without confusion, without doubt, without the internal voice trying to ruin what is already ready. I cover your timing so that you don't force anything before the right moment and don't lose anything by arriving late after the right moment. I cover the calling you carry so that no one else can extinguish it with a sentence cut short in the middle of some meeting or with a silence from someone who never asked about what you keep in the drawer. I also cover the mission you carry, the same one that was kept in the drawer for so long. No one else will be able to convince you that it's too small or too late or too big for you. It was measured by me, for you, before you were born, and nothing that has happened until today has changed that measurement. I send you now back to your ordinary day, but you don't return the same way you came in here. You return knowing that you are being moved, even when it seems like you're standing still. You return knowing that the next meeting can be different, that the next piece of news can be the confirmation, that the next name that comes back to your mind can already be the beginning of what I promised. Say out loud now, before writing anything in the comments. Say it like this: I am ready for what's coming, even though it's bigger than I asked for. Say it again if you need to, until you feel that the sentence stopped being just words and became a decision. If you said that sentence out loud, write "done" in the comments now. Amen if this word reached you at the right time. And if there is someone in your life who also keeps a talent in a drawer, who was also cut off in the middle of a sentence in some meeting, who also makes the inventory alone before sleeping, send this video to that person today. Don't send it to a group. Don't send it to an entire broadcast list. Think of that specific person's face right now and send it only to them, with their name in your mind, the same way someone needed to think of you. And if you want to go beyond this free protocol and learn more completely how to walk in the days between the sign and the offer, without falling into any of the 3 tactics you just learned about, the link is in the first comment, waiting for you the same way it has waited for the offer that's coming. In the next video, I'm going to show you what to do in the first 7 days after the confirmation arrives, so that you don't waste the opening of the door with hurry or with fear. Stay tuned, because what comes next completes what started today. It is done. What was delivered here has been delivered. You are not the same person you were when this message began. You seek. You dedicate yourself. You do everything right, and yet abundance never comes. And the worst part, you start wondering if you're doing something wrong, if you're being heard up above, if it's meant for you at all. It's not a lack of faith or worthiness. It's a spiritual blockage that ordinary prayer alone cannot break. The Miracle Journal unblocks this in 21 days with a spiritual protocol that works exactly where your prayer doesn't reach. Along with the journal, you'll also receive as a gift the prayer guide and the Psalms manual with the most powerful sacred practices and texts to deepen your transformation. To claim your version of the journal, tap the link in the comments right below this video.